You're here because someone hurt you. And right now, more than anything, you want to make them regret it. You imagine that one day they'll wake up and realize what they lost. This feeling is human. It's normal. But what if I told you that this desire for their regret is the very chain that keeps you tied to them? What if the most powerful move you'll ever make is no move at all? The common mistake is to make their regret the metric of your success. You think, I'll have one when they come back begging, or I'll feel better when they see me thriving and finally understand my worth. But when you do this, you are still letting them control your happiness. You are still playing their game, just with a different strategy. You are still waiting for their reaction. The Stoic path offers a more powerful goal. It teaches that real power isn't in making them feel anything at all. It's about reaching a state of such profound inner peace that their feelings, regret, indifference, or anything else become completely irrelevant to you. Imagine two prisoners in adjacent cells. The first prisoner spends all day watching the guard, hoping the guard feels guilty, hoping the guard sees his suffering. His entire existence revolves around the guard. The second prisoner ignores the guard completely. He spends his time exercising, reading, and strengthening his mind for the day he is free. Which one, even while imprisoned, is truly more free? The one who is focused on his own power, not the one seeking validation from his captor. The lesson is this: you don't win by proving anything. You don't win by reacting. You win by making yourself the main character of your own story again. The ultimate power isn't making them miss you. It's reaching a point where you no longer care if they do. That is true freedom. So here is your first, most important mission. Take out a piece of paper or open a note on your phone. Your old goal might have been, make them regret it. Your new goal is this: my peace is my prize. Not their pain, not their regret, your own inner peace. This is the new direction for your journey. But we all know the allure of that old goal is strong. We want to understand why our absence and silence have such a powerful psychological effect on them. It's not magic, it's human nature. In the next part, we'll break down the psychology of absence and understand why doing nothing is often the most powerful move you can make. You've set your new goal, your own peace. But to stay on this path, you need to understand the powerful psychology at play. Why is your absence so much more effective than blocking them or begging them? It comes down to a fundamental principle of the human mind. We are haunted by the unknown. The common mistake is to do exactly what they expect. They have a script ready for your anger, your tears, your long explanations, and your desperate attempts to hold on. When you follow that script, you are playing your assigned role. You give them the comfort of predictability. But silence and absence are powerful because they break this pattern. You refuse to play your part. This creates a psychological vacuum where their control used to be. They reach for the puppet strings and find they've been cut. Imagine you're watching a movie you're completely invested in. Right before the final climactic scene, the screen just cuts to black. No explanation, no ending. That what if will drive you crazy. It will occupy more space in your mind than a movie with a satisfying conclusion. When you disappear without a word, you are cutting their movie short. You are turning yourself into an unsolved mystery they can't stop thinking about. The lesson is that your words, your arguments, and your emotions are actually a gift to them. They are a form of closure. They give them relief and allow them to move on easily because they understand where they stand. Your silence, on the other hand, gives them nothing to hold on to except their own thoughts and the weight of their own actions. People don't chase what's blocked. They chase what they can't figure out. So your practice this week is to commit to this silence, not as a punishment for them, but as a space for your own clarity. Every time you feel the urge to send that text or make that final call, remind yourself, my explanation is a gift they haven't earned. You must resist the urge to give them the comfort of closure. Your focus is now on your own story, not on finishing theirs for them. But this silence is incredibly difficult. It will feel uncomfortable at first. While their mind is spinning, yours will be too. You'll be fighting the urge to check on them, to ruminate, to second-guess yourself. This is the real battle. In the next part, we will focus on how to win the war inside your own head. Committing to silence is simple, but it is not easy. The first few days can be brutal. While your absence creates a vacuum in their mind, it also creates a storm in yours. This is the real work. The battle is no longer with them, it's with the voice inside your own head. The common mistake is to confuse physical distance with emotional freedom. You can block their number and delete their photos, but as the source text powerfully states, if they still live inside your mind, they still win. This isn't freedom, it's mental captivity. It's the constant replaying of old conversations, the urge to check in just to see if they noticed, and the fear that your silence will just make them forget you. Imagine you've kicked a disruptive person out of your house and locked the door. That's no contact. But now you've let their ghost wander your halls. You argue with it, you plead with it, you let it keep you up at night. The real work is not just locking the door, it's learning how to exorcise the ghost from your own house. The lesson is that you have to block them in your mind. You must cut off the mental replay. Every time you ruminate, you are breaking your own silence and giving them your precious energy, even if they never know it. Your attention is a currency, and you must stop spending it on a ghost. So here is your practice for winning this internal war. It's called the pattern interrupt. The moment you catch yourself thinking about them, replaying a memory, or starting to spiral, you must do two things immediately. First, mentally or even out loud, say the word stop. Second, immediately get up and do something physical for just 2 minutes. Do 10 push-ups. Walk around the room. Put on one song and dance. You have to physically break the mental loop. This is not about suppressing the thought. It's about refusing to indulge it. As you master this internal battle, your focus will naturally shift from them to yourself. This brings up the next controversial tactic, the idea of letting them watch. Many people get this wrong, turning it into a performance to make the other person jealous. In the next part, we're going to redefine this philosophy in a way that gives you real power, not just the illusion of it. You've won the war in your head. You're no longer checking their profile. Now we turn to the outside world. The source video suggests a controversial idea. Don't block, make them watch. This is a dangerous tactic if misunderstood. So let's redefine it with real power. The common mistake is to turn your life into a performance for an audience of one. You post flashy pictures, you try to make them jealous. You curate a perfect life specifically to show them what they lost. This is not power, this is still seeking their reaction. You are still chained to them, just with a different kind of chain. The healthy Stoic version of this philosophy is not about making them watch. It's about becoming so absorbed in building your own life that you become radically indifferent to whether they are watching or not. You don't block them, not as a strategy to haunt them, but because their presence or absence on a screen has become completely irrelevant to you. It's an act of supreme indifference. Imagine you are climbing a huge mountain. The person who hurt you is at the bottom, in base camp. The person playing games keeps looking down, shouting, "Look how high I am now. Do you regret leaving me?" Their focus is still on the person below. The true Stoic, however, has forgotten about base camp entirely. They are completely focused on the climb, the feel of the rock, the rhythm of their breathing, the view ahead. They are so consumed with their own journey that the person below ceases to exist in their mind. If that person happens to look up and see them on the peak, that's a byproduct, not the goal. The lesson is that your growth must be authentic. Your glow up is for you. The goal is not to show them you're happy, but to actually be happy. Real power is moving so far forward that you forget you were ever trying to prove anything in the first place. You become someone they can never reach again, not because you built a wall, but because you climbed to a higher plane of existence. So here is your practice. Before you post anything online or make a significant life choice this week, ask yourself one honest question. Am I doing this for myself, or am I doing it for an imaginary audience of one? This audit will keep your actions pure and your growth authentic. Live your life and let them watch if they want. It makes no difference to you. But what happens when your authentic growth and radical indifference actually work? What do you do when they see you on top of that mountain and try to climb back into your life? This is the ultimate test. In the next part, we'll build a framework for how to handle the moment they come back. You've been climbing your mountain, focused on your own journey, and then it happens. Your phone buzzes. It's them. The low effort, "Hey," or "thinking of you" text arrives. This is not a coincidence. This is the ultimate test of your new strength. How you handle this moment defines whether you've truly moved on or have just been pretending. The common mistake is to see their message as a sign of genuine regret or change. Your heart leaps with a toxic mix of hope and vindication. You think, "It worked. They miss me." You immediately reply with emotion, either excitement or anger, and in that single moment, you have given all of your power back. You must understand why they are reaching out. As the source text states, they are not chasing you because they suddenly realize your worth. They are chasing you because they miss the power they had over you. They want to know if they can still pull your strings. They are not checking in on you. They are checking your boundaries to see if your peace is real or just temporary. Imagine you are a fish that has finally broken free from a hook and is now swimming in the open ocean. The fisherman, them, casts out a simple, unbaited hook. The "hey" text, just to see if you're still in the area, just to see if you'll still bite out of habit. The old you would see the hook and immediately swim toward it, relieved that the fisherman still wants you. The new you sees the hook for what it is, a test, a trap, and swims right past it without a second glance. The lesson is that your response, or lack thereof, is not for them. It is for you. It is the final exam of your self-respect. It is the proof that your inner peace is no longer negotiable. You have 3 Stoic options. Choose wisely. Option 1, the way of pure silence, the strongest. No response, ever. This is for relationships that were truly toxic or damaging. Your silence is the final word. It says, "You no longer exist in my reality." Option 2, the way of calm indifference. If you must respond, for example, in a co-parenting situation, your response must be devoid of emotion. A polite, brief, and boring message like, "Hope you're doing well," that closes the conversation. It gives them nothing to work with. Option 3, the way of acknowledgement. Use with caution. A simple like on their message. It says, I've seen this, and I feel nothing about it. It is a move of supreme, detached indifference, but it should only be used if it's genuinely how you feel. When you successfully navigate this test, when you see their attempt to regain control and feel nothing but calm, you are on the verge of true freedom. But what is that ultimate victory? It's not about them at all. In our final part, we will explore the profound peace that comes when their regret becomes completely and utterly irrelevant to you. You've navigated the silence, you've won the war in your head, and you've held your boundaries when they came testing them. You are now standing at the peak of the mountain, looking out at your own life. What is the view like from here? What is the true victory? The final mistake, the last trap of the ego, is to secretly wait for the moment they feel regret. You imagine them seeing your success and feeling the sting of their loss, thinking this will be your final, satisfying reward. But the true Stoic victory is far more profound. It's not the moment they text you, "I miss you." The true victory is the moment you get that text and you feel nothing. Not anger, not satisfaction, just a calm, quiet indifference. You have become so absorbed in building your own life that their emotional state has zero impact on yours. Imagine their memory was a sharp, vibrant photograph you carried in your pocket. In the beginning, you looked at it constantly, feeling the pain. As you practiced these principles, you looked at it less and less. The final victory is when you find that photograph months later and realize the image has faded completely. You look at it with a neutral curiosity, like an artifact from a different person's life, and then you simply put it away without a second thought. The lesson is this: by the time they finally realize what they lost, you will be too far ahead to even care. The most powerful move you'll ever make is no move at all. You didn't need their closure because you gave it to yourself. You became whole again, not because they finally gave you what you needed, but because you gave it to yourself. This is the Stoic path. It's a journey from seeking their approval to building your own self-respect. It's realizing that you don't win by reacting. You win by rising. So I will leave you with this final thought to reflect on, and feel free to share in the comments. What does your life look like when their opinion no longer matters? If this journey has helped you reclaim your power, a like on the video is always appreciated as it helps others find this path. And to continue exploring these ideas, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Remember, you don't win by proving anything. You win by becoming so focused on your own path that you forget to look back.